So I'm joined on camera with Sarah Ivey, who is a judge in the Young Media Lines, one of three, is that right?
One of three judges, yes, right.
So we've heard from our silver winning team from Germany earlier on. Sounds like a difficult brief, was it?
It was a very tricky brief because it wasn't quite clear what the real problem. The problem was real, but the way to tackle it wasn't, because the client was a very, very small Brazilian NGO called Ivey, and they do this wonderful work to preserve one of the most endangered pieces of rainforest that there are, the Atlantic rainforest in Brazil. But they have no idea how to negotiate fundraising through corporate sponsorship. So the real brief was to help them find money through corporate sponsors. But it was amazing how difficult that really was when they're so not well known. Yeah.
And do you think the teams were quite surprised by the brief, or did they have a clear idea straight away what to do? How did they what was their kind of first hour or so afterwards like, when they were kind of working out what they were going to do?
There were lots of good questions in the briefing session as people worked to get their heads around it. It was pretty clear that they'd spent a lot of time arguing about how to tackle the problem. So I think it took at least half their time to figure out how to reframe the problem in a way that was going to be effective.
Okay, and then all the teams pitched their ideas. Is that how it works?
Yeah, so the format is the teams come in and they just have 5 minutes and 8 slides to present.
Right.
It's a very, very terse, brutal way of presenting, but it really refines the thinking in a way. So I thought it was a great format. And then 5 minutes for the judges to ask questions. So it really is a great training format for young people to get in front of a client and present their case very succinctly.
And what was the standard of work like this year?
It was brilliant, really. It was amazing because most of them completely rethought the problem. Some of them targeted consumers, some of them targeted corporations, some of them targeted the corporation's employees. Highly creative problem solving, pretty well across the board. The standard was great.
And everybody kind of largely used social media, did they? Was that the kind of solutions?
This is a group that for them Facebook is like television, right? So we saw a lot of usage of Facebook, and I think one of the key learnings that we're getting from it is that just putting sort of that kind of social media layer into something is simply not enough, because right now it's becoming mass, right? So.
And we heard earlier on from the Germany team about the solution that they came up with. Tell us about the winning team. What was exceptional about their idea?
They actually they put another layer onto the idea because they thought about how to sustainably raise funds for this NGO and not target corporations. Target corporations need to attract talent. So they dreamed up this amazing application in which they actually used corporate donations through employees as a retention tool with a wonderful app that tied right into it. It was a really, really nice solution and very clearly was going to deliver on the revenue that Ivey needed.
So obviously all of the teams have got a lot out of this and they're going to take the learnings back to their markets with them. What about you in terms of what you've seen and what you've learned and what can we share with the network from this experience?
Well, the one overwhelming thing is that, number one, investing consistently in younger talent it pays such dividends for us. I can't even tell you how transformative so many of these teams. I mean, I talked to our teams, but I talked to a lot of teams afterwards. And having access to this kind of experience and this advice, I mean, this is a wonderful thing to do internally. Yeah. So I really think encouraging our younger teams not only to enter this, but to take the spirit of this back into the agencies, I think is really incredible.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Thanks very much, Tim.